Right, welcome. It's section 3. We're starting with organic chemistry, and let's see what this is all about. And like I said, we all follow through from grade 10 to grade 12 because this is a whole course of metric. You started from grade 10, you finish it off at grade 12. Organic chemistry, what you basically need to know from the onset is that something organic is something that is living. So we're talking about things that are living here, not non-living things. Okay, not non-living things, not this. Okay, so here, this organic chemistry is actually basically the study of carbon-based substances. But these carbon-based substances obviously are specific ones because we do have carbon-based substances that are non-living, okay, inorganic ones. Okay, and we will focus on compounds called hydrocarbons or molecules called hydrocarbons, and these hydrocarbons, like the name suggests, you would understand these are carbon-based substances where carbon atoms have bonded covalently with hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this is one section of organic chemistry that we're going to look at, and of course we'll look at other sections as well. Starting with the hydrocarbons, let's start looking at what we call functional groups, and for now looking at hydrocarbons. What are functional groups? Functional groups or a functional group is something in a molecule that tells us the chemical property. In other words, it gives what we call chemical, perhaps you can say chemical identity of molecules. Okay, and here under hydrocarbons we've got alkanes, we have got what we call alkenes, we have got also alkynes. Okay, now what are these alkanes, alkenes and alkynes? With alkanes we've got, these are organic molecules, okay, organic molecules where you have single bonds between carbon atoms. Okay, single bonds between carbon atoms. So what we're talking about is something like that. So that becomes what we call the functional group of alkenes. Single means one, that bond is one, that line there represents a bond. When we look at alkenes, this will be organic molecules with double bonds between, allow me to write it like that, but don't write it like that when you're answering these questions. I just want to make sure that I don't have stuff, not given to you because I don't have time. I just want to make sure I give you everything that I have here. Double bonds between carbon atoms. So that will be your alkenes, and that will therefore be given by that. That double bond gives you the functional group for alkenes. Down here, we've got the alkynes. You can guess, I think, if you check the flow of things here. Here, it will be triple bonds between carbon atoms. Okay, here we've got triple bonds between carbon atoms. Okay, so that becomes the functional group for alkenes. All right, now that's what you have, but I am being careful when I write down these bonds here, and I'm going to explain to you later on as well. But basically is that carbon can form 4 bonds, and I need to make sure whatever bonds I have around a single carbon atom, they must total to a number 4, not anything else. They can't be 5 or less. Okay, continuing with functional groups, we also have something called haloalkanes. Now the word halo comes from the word halogen. And what are halogens? Halogens are group 7 elements. Okay, group 7 elements, things like chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, those are halogens. So if we have haloalkanes, it means part of the bonds to carbon atoms are occupied by by atoms from the halogen group either chlorine, iodine, or bromine. So what you would have, it's something like this. For example, you would have that where that R there will represent your halogen. Okay, that becomes your haloalkane molecules. It has to be an alkane, of course, therefore we're not expecting double bonds. So even if I had a carbon atom there, I will still have that. I may have one R or two R's or whatever, depending on how many halogen atoms do I have on that. Alcohols, you've got what we call the OH group. So if you have that, you've got an alcohol. For example, if you have this one here, so this will be a C, okay, with those bonds, that will be the functional group. If you have this one here, that will be the very first simplest alcohol you have. That will be methanol. Okay, so that is how it will be like. Perhaps here you may also need me to give you an example of a haloalkane. I will give you a simplest one, of course. Say for methane, you've got a haloalkane there. You would have one bond represented, maybe, taken up by maybe chlorine. Then you have got hydrogen, hydrogen, another hydrogen there. So this becomes what we call chloromethane. Okay, right. So that is how it works, or that's how the functional groups come about. We will continue with this lesson in the next section, and of course, the last segment.